Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the Whiskey Cove. And on today's episode, we have a pretty darn good whiskey store haul coming your way. Run that video. Alrighty then folks, thank you for joining us for another new and as always exciting episode here on the Whiskey Cove. And on today's episode, we look at the whiskeys that I was able to pick up recently and some of the bottles that I was able to kill off or drink up here down in the Whiskey Cove. If you don't already know, we have a very fantastic charity raffle that you sitting right there can be a part of. Go over to the Whiskey Cove's website, thewhiskeycove.square.site. All the information is down below in the description of this video. Entries are $10, all goes towards St. Jude Hospital. We have some excellent bottles that I will put down below on the screen here. I can't keep up, everything's changing so fast. So many of you are reaching out. We have such great positive information and great positive kind of feedback about this whole event. So if you want to be a part of it, if you want to sponsor a bottle, if you want to donate a bottle, we will get it down here on the Whiskey Cove. If you want to sponsor a video, reach out to me. We're doing great things. All of the money that I make through YouTube in the month of November and any sponsorships that I have will be going to St. Jude. I'm also putting out a couple of bottles and a Cuban cigar as well. So you do not want to miss out on that. That being said, we do an excellent video coming your way. So we have been able to pick up like 8, 9, 10 bottles of whiskey here. And to be fair, it's been a little slim pickings lately. And that's coming from me, who's been able to pick up some really great bottles of whiskeys in the last couple of years. And it's drying up, and maybe that needs to be a video in and of itself, but it's getting a little tough out there, folks. So it's hard times. Anyway, it's hard times, but we're gonna see the whiskey that I'm gonna be pulling out here, and you guys at home are just gonna say I'm talking absolute nonsense. However, I'm noticing that it's been difficult lately. However, let's talk about the bottles that we were able to kill off. Bottle number 1 is this bottle of Buller 12, which I threw away recently. We did a video where we go through all the bottles that I was able to drink off, and Buller 12 was one of them. We used it in a review, and then we used it for the Midwinter Nights Dram project that we're doing, and then we tossed it by accident. We should have kept it. However, we have this bottle that was also part of that project. This is the Rendezvous Rye. Excellent bottle of whiskey. If you're able to find these labels, the old labels, they have a lot of old distillate in them. This is the 2018 bottle. So if you can find a 2018 or younger, I'm telling you now, there's a lot of older MGP, maybe even Barton distillate in these. I would definitely buy that again. This has got in, and then also the other bottle on this list is going to be an old, the BOURBON. This is the new release this year from High West, BOURBON Straight Rye, that we put into the project, and we also did a review on as well. Great bottle of whiskey, it was okay, it was good, maybe not worth the money. Let's see how it blends up with our Midwinter Nights Dram project. And that was it. And maybe we threw away some other bottles, and we've just kind of been nursing a lot of the bottles that we're trying to get through here. So maybe next month, expect some more empty bottles. So then, let's talk about the bottles that we were able to get. And in no particular order, we were able to pick up a Kentucky Straight Malted Rye. So this is from New Riff. I don't know if they've stopped making these or they've just kind of grown beyond the age statement of 6 years. This is a great bottle of whiskey. I have one back here. We have probably, I don't know how much is left in there, a third maybe. This is my second bottle. I love it. It's 50% ABV, 100 proof, sour mash, 100% malted barley. They had this on sale, and I will tell you how much. Down in Argonaut's Wine and Liquor in Denver, I paid $46.99 for that, and they have a very low sales tax down there, so it's probably around $50 out of the door for this bottle. And that's really a great price for this, because you'll probably see it for like $60, $70, $80 if you can still find it. I wouldn't sleep on these anymore. Great bottle of whiskey. There was a time where I wasn't the biggest fan of this bottle, but I'm a big fan of it right now. Great value for money, a great bottle of whiskey, and a true rye, and it's very different. 100% malted rye, and some of those notes are almost reminiscent of bourbon. They do a great job with that. I can't speak highly enough about it. Next up, and this is a bourbon that's come back to Colorado, and that is the Evan Williams Single Barrel. This one is a 43.3% ABV or 86.8 98.6 proof. And I shouldn't say this one, they are all that ABV. This was put into oak in 2015, and I should say December of 2015, and then pulled out in April 2023. Pretty cool ball. Great to see it back in Colorado. They made it that it was only Kentucky only for a while, but now I guess they caught up a little bit on the distillate. I've seen these range right now in Colorado somewhere between $32 and $40. I like it to be closer to 30 than 40, but for like a 7-8 year bottle of Evan Williams single barrel, I'm very excited that this has come back into the repertoire of the whiskeys that I have, because we just showed you folks at home an empty bottle that we had to get rid of. So this is the only one we have here in the Whiskey Cove. Very excited that we have that back. Next up, and we are going down to Denver, Colorado, and we're going to Law's Whiskey Company. Law's do some fantastic, fantastic stuff. Always distill their own stuff. Probably, and this might be a bit of a statement, probably the best distillers of bourbon and whiskey here in Colorado. Very, very difficult to distill good bourbon here in Colorado. I'm at the belief actually that you can't distill excellent bourbon here just because the altitude just messes with it. There's not as much expansion, there's not as much humidity here. However, Law's do a pretty darn good job. This was a collaboration with Argonaut Wine and Liquor, and this was their Brick House series. This is a blend of bourbon and wheat whiskies. So this isn't a wheated bourbon, this is a blend of bourbon and wheated whiskies, or wheated whiskies as some might say. So the blend is as the follows. 65% of the blend is the bourbon, which is 60% corn, 20% wheat, 10% rye, and then 10% malted barley. And then the 35% is their wheated whiskey, which is 50% malted wheat and then 50% raw wheat, which makes a combined total of 58.6%. So, weirdly enough, this has OWA vibes. Weller 107. It has a small touch of youthfulness there, but it really does nose like Weller 107. This costs roughly $65, $75, maybe around that. I haven't got the receipt with me, sorry. But it really has a fantastic nose. There's a little bit of dusty, gray, corny note there in the back end. But you do get a really nice sweetness there with this whiskey. I've had a little taste, I need to get into it a little bit more, but I like supporting local distilleries here in Colorado, and we are fortunate that we have Law's and they do some phenomenal stuff. If you're ever in Denver, definitely go and check those folks out down there. Moving on. Wyoming Whiskey, we are hitting up a new private stock pick. I think this is an older pick from those folks down up in Wyoming Whiskey. We were going through the I-18, we stopped along a liquor store and they had this bottle there, which was weird actually, because this is from Casper, Wyoming, but we were nowhere near Casper, so I'm not sure how they got it. Sometimes liquor stores just get sent the wrong stuff, and I guess maybe these guys got it. So, and I've opened it already because I was in that area, I wanted to try it, I met a few people. It's not the best stuff, if I'm completely honest. Has this little bit of open air aged rick house note, if you like, which I mean is a little soggy oak, a little bit of cardboard going on with this whiskey. Let's see how it opens up before we make more of an informed opinion on it. This was $60, not so bad, around 60% ABV or 120 proof. You know, I think that's par for the course. Hopefully it'll open up and it'll be a little bit better and there's no regrets with this. But when you're in Wyoming, you kind of want to pick up a unique bottle to Wyoming, and that was Wyoming Whiskey. Next up, we have a very nice bottle that I was able to score, and that is 1792, aged 12 years. So I was at a liquor store here, very local. They do a allocated list that they post online. They didn't have this on the list, but I went into the store, I was just hanging out, looking around a few things, and then I noticed this bottle down there. Lo and behold, one of my favorite bottles of whiskey. That is 1792, aged 12 years. Coming in at 48.3% ABV or 96.6 proof from the old Barton distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. This is a great bottle of whiskey. It equals Weller 12 together. They're very, very great stuff. Very happy that I was able to get this. I don't know if they needed to update their prices a little bit, but I think I paid $70 for it. And I paid about $80 for this bottle like 3, 4, 5 years ago. So excellent value for money. Very happy that I was able to get this. I have a half-opened bottle on the shelf here that I need to finish, and I have another backup down there. And now we just got another backup. So we can maybe kill this guy off here, so then we don't have to worry about getting another backup, because this is the best 1792 that you can get. Very happy that I was able to get that down here in the Whiskey Cove. Moving on, and let me humor you a little bit here, we picked up a stout. If you're a constant fan or a constant person who likes to watch these videos, firstly, let me say thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Secondly, you know I do like whiskey barrel-aged stouts. This is a fun one because I'll read out the description and it'll become glaringly obvious that whoever wrote it isn't much of a whiskey drinker. And let's see what this says. So this is the Wildwork Company Vanilla Medianoche. Medianoche is kind of like their barrel-aged lineup that they do. This is 2024 edition. So Vanilla Medianoche begins with a blend of Medianoche batches, which is a blend of their stouts, aged 21 to 39 months in various different barrels. So these are the barrels that they age them in. Blanton's bourbon, that's fair. Sazerac 18-year rye, well, that's a pretty good barrel right there. Buffalo Trace rye. So the only thing I can think of for Buffalo Trace rye is maybe the Buffalo Trace kosher rye, because there isn't a Buffalo Trace rye, so I don't know what was going on there. Henry McKenna 10-year bottled in bond bourbon. Lowe's Whiskey House Rye, Weller bourbon. Just Weller bourbon. The Special Reserve, the 12-year, the full proof, no one knows. Buffalo Trace bourbon, I think we can assume that's regular Buffalo Trace. And then Buzzard Roost bourbon. So a lot of interesting blends there from the stouts that are the Medianoche stouts that have been finished, but also Sazerac 18, Blanton's, some really interesting notes there. If you're a big fan of stouts, definitely follow me on Rocky Mountain Whiskey, and then also if you want to find me on the beer app called Untapped, my username, and don't ask why, is called Jojo Was a Man, like the Beatles song. Jojo Was a Man, all one word. And then you can see all the beer that I'm drinking on Untapped too. I love that app, that's a fantastic app. Moving on. WP Safel. So many of you might not know what this bottle is. So this is a pint-sized bottle, and I only generally see this at Total Wine, and they haven't had it very much lately, and this is a very hard bottle to find. This is 53.5% ABV, 107 proof. I believe it's made by Wild Turkey, or at least sourced. Has a pretty cool like tax stamp on the back and the side there. They should just put that over the top, I guess. I'm really excited to see how this drinks. Sadly, it was $50 for a pint, so like $100 for a bottle. So it better bloody be good, if I'm completely honest. But a lot of people say this is an excellent bottle of whiskey, so expect a review coming on this your way very shortly, I guess. I don't know much about it. I can't really share too much, but I believe it's made by the folks over at Wild Turkey. Moving on, 2 bottles left. First up, and we were able to find it, if you can believe. Look, I generally don't overpay for whiskeys anymore. Occasionally, I overpay for whiskeys. This is a bottle I will overpay for. This is an Elijah Creek barrel proof, as you can see. This was $100. So there was someone in a local Facebook group here to Colorado that was, I guess, just unloading. They were just getting rid of some stuff. And there was a bottle of whiskey that they had that I really, really wanted. They were trying to ask $120 for it. I offered them $100, and then they accepted it. So we met up in person, and this is because this is my favorite Elijah Craig, the Elijah Craig B520. Better than the C923. Better than the C920, better than the C919. You throw a batch at me, this is better than. Great nose. We already have 2 bottles up there. We have 1 opened. We did a blind with all those aforementioned bottles that I just said, and this just beat them out. This is like a creme brulee bomb on steroids, peanut butter brittle. It has all those maple syrup, pancakes notes with a bunch of syrup on top. This is a phenomenal bottle of whiskey, and for $100 bottles, it's a little bit of a steal now, because these B520s, they don't make now anymore. The last time they made them was what, middle of 2020. I'm not gonna find them. So for $100, even though the MSRP back then was probably $65 to $70, I think a very good price. Lastly, we went down to Argos Wine and Liquor, where we got the Laws, where we got some other stuff here as well, and we were able to get an Eagle Rare single barrel pick. If Buffalo Trace put out a product that is a single barrel pick that is from a line that does not do single barrels, you should definitely get it. A Buffalo Trace single barrel is something you should definitely pick up, and an Eagle Rare single barrel is definitely something you should pick up. There is somewhat of a rumor going around in the internet that Eagle Rare is just about any single barrel as it is, but they don't back clean the machine, so it's easy not to call it a single barrel. However, from my own experiences, the denoted single barrels with the badges are head and shoulders above the regular stuff. Yes, it's still the same 10 years, 45% ABV or 90 proof. Very happy that I was able to get this. This is barrel number 51, and just going off of the person who gave me this at the store in Argonauts notes, a very good bottle of whiskey, and one that I'm very excited to get. How much did I pay for this? I paid $39.99 with taxes and fees, probably about $43 out of the door, which nowadays for an Eagle Rare single barrel is just about as good as it can get. Very good bottle, very humble that I was able to get them. Hopefully you've taken some value from this video. Hopefully now you know what to expect, maybe some reviews coming down here in the Whiskey Cove and some of the stuff we're going to be talking about. Definitely hit me up on Untapped. Jojo was a man. I have like 2,500 beers that I've rated on there. That's an app that I use a lot. And don't forget about the St. Jude charity raffle here on the Whiskey Cove. If you would like to donate a bottle, if you would like to sponsor a bottle that I have here at the Whiskey Cove, if you would like to buy a raffle ticket, everything is down in the description below. Thank you for watching. As we say on the channel, we drink through the world's whiskeys, one glass at a time. Cheers.